It says, after I rotated the device to get to the right place I need to get it to. So, fellas and peeps, let me give you some of my reel here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let me make sure I get this right. Because they just came up on my pad and told me to rotate my camera. That means get it on the right side. I got it, Gene. Yeah. Yeah, to put it on the right side. Get it going. You know what I'm talking about. But I just want to welcome you back into my home again. We're doing it from here this Tuesday. You guys know sometimes I'm all around. Sometimes I'm in LA. Uh, what's up, GOAT? I appreciate that, buddy. Put me in the GOAT category, calling me a GOAT. Did y'all see? Don't make me digress right fast because I'll jump into it. But y'all did see the post that I posted the other day where I was talking about welcoming Eric Allen in. And that's Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, Aeneas Williams, Rod Woodson, Champ Bailey, now Eric Allen. When I said I went through gold jackets to get my gold rings, you think about it, all of those are Hall of Famers, and all those guys follow me all over the football field all day long. And I still got to where I needed to be. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Today's game, we don't have those kind of corners. Not those kind of corners. Those great corners. We got some. That Patrick Surtain, some of those guys, those are great corners and everything. So I don't want to say that. Great athletes, great players. Right now, though, I digressed because, DKL jumped in saying, what's up, GOAT, and all of that made me think about that post. But what we really should be talking about is that championship game last night. Oh, y'all saw that now. Come on. We got to give a hand clap to that game because that game was a battle, the whole game, and so many little stories within the game. I want to share them with you since I got a chance to talk with you guys right here. And let's sit this out. You guys saw the score, right? You saw what happened in the game. We know, wow, that what a game that was. For the game to start that way, to be played that way, Florida Gators basically was down the whole game. And it came out of half. I think the biggest stretch reached out to 10-point lead. He used to got a 10-point lead. Now your boy Walter Clayton Jr., who's been the star of this whole tournament, coming off, I think back by the 30-point games, went ice cold. And I shouldn't even say he went ice cold. You guys watched it, I'm sure. Florida wins 65-63 in the end. But Clayton was ice cold in the first part. But it's not just him being ice cold. It was Houston in that defense. They trapped him. They doubled him. They got the ball out of his hands. He was making all kind of passes because the double teams kept running at him to get rid of that ball in that first half. But he stuck to it. He didn't get down on himself. And no, he didn't put up the 30-point game. He only ended up with 11 points. But they were crucial points. And when he came out of it, he had made couple 3-point plays. Then he helped tie the game back up. And he made the most crucial defensive play in the game. Houston didn't even get a shot off because Walter Clayton Jr., even though this game didn't go like he wanted it to go, he still gave his whole heart, ran out, perfect timing, made him drop the ball and hold up. I thought, wow, man, you was sharp. And just dropped the ball because perfect defense. Now, I share with you guys, man. I tell you guys, there are a few things that happen in my life that no matter what, I think about every day. I truly do. I think about them every day. And And one was going to that hotel room because I heard the voice tell me don't go. Don't go to the hotel room. It's something bad's going to happen. And the other time, it was a championship game. That pass that I knew that Deion Sanders, I called pass interference, they did not call it. I know 100% because the voice told me then, jump, go attack the ball. If I'd have turned around and attacked the ball, would have been different. But I had done that all year long, and Emmett was joking with me all the time about leaving it on the 1 yard line, so I wanted to get it over into the end zone. I didn't listen to that voice. That's the second time. Those 2 times, I think about it every day. And I'm going to tell you something. Sharp will think about this play every day. Because the only reason Houston did not win is because in the end, and that's where it always counts, in the end, Sharp was not sharp. And I thought maybe it's just he's not used to being in that position because they really wanted to get L.J. Cryer the shot off, right? That's why they got him to him in the corner, but they were all around him. He found Sharp breaking to that top of the post, top of the key for the 3-pointer. And if Sharp had been used to this, I was telling you guys, remember I told you guys about pressure. When we talk about Shedeur Sanders, it's how you handle pressure because he's been dealing with pressure all of his life. And now what you have is you have everybody saying he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, but they're discounting his ability to deal with pressure. That's the whole thing. You got to learn how to live and deal with pressure. And that's what got the Sharp yesterday. He put 8 points on the board. But in that game, when he caught that ball, there was 5-6 seconds left on the clock. He turned. There were so many things he could have done if he settled down his brain and said, calm down. I'm used to pressure. This is what I do. Recognize when he broke a corner that the clock had 6 seconds on it. Take that ball. Pump. You could have pumped easily. Clay Jr. was already in the air. You could have held that thing on, leaned into him, picked up that foul, and still got that ball off. You assure yourself a 3-point play. Three free throw shots. Or even if you fake pump and step up, line up, and take that shot, you had 5 seconds. He's a young man, college game. We call him amateur, so I can't jump on him or dump on him. That's a tough pressure situation. And it's hard. Not many people are used to that. But we got to start counting that those pressure beaters, and give them an up hand on pressure beaters. Walter Clayton Jr., on the other hand, you don't think he felt pressure? Are you joking? Think about this, to go in that first half scoreless. After putting up the points he's put up the last couple of games, he must have been feeling so great, man. The scouts out here, everybody's seeing this. And then you in the first half of a national championship game, you ain't scoring nothing. What the hell you think he was going through in that locker room? That was pressure. Pressure. But Walter Clayton Jr. used to it. And he came out fire in the second half. He was like, yeah, I'm going to break through this. And he broke through. And he ended up making all the key plays to help his team win the football game. And then after, I just love watching all the interviews and everything because, you become a fan. I can't wait to watch him in the pros. I can't wait to watch him in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see that. So that was a great, great game in that sense because I latched on to Walter Clayton Jr. in his struggles. And I rode that ride with him. And I was pulling for him to come out of that because I didn't want him to be living the rest of his life thinking, I blew that opportunity. Or I failed to pressure in that pressure moment. And then wonder the rest of his life, every time a pressure moment hit, is he up to it? Can he get through it? That's what you saw last night. You saw a dude that graduated and said, okay, I can handle this. And we all rolled that because he struggled early. And then we watch him coming out. Watch him come out on the other end. Yeah, my man, I see you. Emmett was so happy. You reach out to Emmett. I said, man, about time the Gators win something. Well, y'all might hurt. Y'all ain't won nothing forever. You know how you try to play, but I have to tell him congratulations. I was happy for him. I was happy. I ain't nowhere in the world, and I didn't see Emmett in the stand in the audience, but I would have been there. That was Miami. What? If it was Miami, you would have seen me on that TV at least 10 times. Because I'd have been right there in the front room, yelling all loud like I don't know what. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. D-Shit, what you mean? Mike just read my comments, bro. Yeah, I got you, buddy. We'll get some time. We're going to definitely do some talking because we got a lot to talk about with what y'all saw in that game and how you see, what are we saying here? What y'all saw in that game, and the game was just a great game. I told you, I'm happy. I was happy. I didn't think when you get all the favorites in that you can have a good that kind of a tournament. I know it's going to be good talent, and everybody's going to be battling, but I want a heart hooked. And honestly, I was pulling for Florida, like I told you, so I got heart hooked into that. And then Walter Clay Jr. from Florida, right there, Pahokee. And March 6th is his birthday. I got heart hooked into that. And then after the game, his mom came up. She's a white mom. I imagine that was his mom. And took a picture. Then his little beautiful daughter and this lady came up. I imagine that's his lady. And they took a picture. Made me fall in love with the young man a little bit more. You know what I mean? I was looking for his dad. Didn't see his dad, but God bless that situation. I just love the kid. So congratulations to Florida, to all of those Gators. I know. Sounds funny coming from me with the University of Miami and the battles we have had, but this is macro level. We're Florida. And congratulations to getting that win. Now Cryer and Sharp over in Houston. Dude, oh God, what a moment that would have been, because Houston has never won a national championship. Remember, it was back-to-back with Hakeem and all of those guys. Never won a national championship. And this, you get this close with that team. Yeah, I feel for my man Sharp. He'll be thinking about that for quite a while. Forever. I just say forever. Now, another thing I want to talk to before I jump over to what we got in 16 days. Because y'all know what's going on in 16 days? Does everybody know what's going on? Yeah. Hey, Daryl, I feel bad for Houston coach also. I really do, because he's been there a few times, and Coach Sampson, good coach. Right after the game, they had this story. They had this story with Cryer, and you really liked it. Yeah, when I said everybody knows what's going on in 16 days, everybody draft. 12th pick. Let's talk about this stuff in a minute, because I want to get to talking about that stuff there in a minute. I want y'all to tell me who you're looking for your team to draft. Now, I'm talking to my base, which is the Dallas Cowboys and everybody out here, but I also want to hear. I want to hear from everybody. Give me the other teams. Give me your other team. Tell me, not just the Cowboys, tell me other places. Whatever you got, I want to tell you and tell me where you think the team should go and who they should get. Now, and we shall talk about that. First, let me say this one time before I jump into opening it up and you guys talk about it. The girls' finals, I watched it too. And congrats to UConn and Gino on another championship. And Paige Becker and Buckner, man, they had Paige they had Ruud and that girl Sharp for UConn. I told you guys they had a triplets, and I know all about triplets. In that game, that Rudd and Sharp is coming back. I believe they put UConn back up, right back to the favorites. Just them two alone. Even though Paige would be going to the WNBA, them two alone put UConn right back in. They were way too much for Dawn State in South Carolina. The girls were bigger. They were too much. But my thought went to this. I'm interested. I'm bought in. But the whole women tournament was not the same as it was last year with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of them. And we got great basketball players in there now. It was a great season and great basketball players. But it's just something different when you have the whole country grabbing hope to something and grabbing a hold of something. So that was great to watch. Now, to the draft. Now let's talk. I hope the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Wings, get paid. Oh, okay, WNBA, I do too. I would like her to get paid too now. Don't mess around. I want Jaden Higgins in the trade. Back in my number, what did it just say? Let's talk about this now. We got, you guys know now, I start this way. Let's go over first few teams and the first few teams' needs, because I got it right here. See, get this. All right. Tennessee. They got Tennessee needs down. They got Tennessee needs, quarterback, edge, wide receiver. That's the top three needs. Quarterback, edge, wide receiver. I want to talk to you about it. They have Cleveland, top three needs. Quarterback, O-line, edge, right? The Giants, their top three need. Quarterback, O-line, LB. Let me tell you what I'm looking at. Let's go quarterback. Number one, says Cam Ward. All and everybody has Cam Ward going number one. I'm baffled on this. You see number two, Cleveland, quarterback, O-line, edge. Just signed. Myles Garrett, a lot of money. Then you get the Giants, quarterback, O-line, linebacker. Everybody out here is trying to tell me these two teams, Cleveland, the Giants, top needs, quarterbacks. Cleveland and the Giants. And they're going to pass on Shedeur Sanders? Are you joking? Come on, man. Are you joking? Is that the Deion effect working in a negative way? You see these guys all putting a different something on Shedeur because of the pedigree, and I'm saying you're working it the wrong way. You should be looking after him and looking for him because of that pedigree. To see if Cleveland and the Giants both pass by Shedeur, I can prophesy them being in hell for a while. Because when there's such value at that quarterback position, there's no way. There's no way. No way. You know, they got great players. Travis Hunter out there, I understand that. Duke Carter, I understand that. But all of those dudes, as great as they are, will not do anything without a quarterback. That's just the reality. And you ain't gonna do anything without that quarterback. So that blows my mind. Everybody's talking about Shedeur is looking to fall. The last I checked, I had people Cleveland picking them back up late in the first round, and then I even have some people thinking that maybe the Saints will reach and get them early at 9 or 10. Even dropping to 9 or 10 is serious to me, so I don't think that. I want to talk now. I just don't think that. I don't see that happening with the value people put on quarterbacks, and to have this man with the pedigree that he has, and knowing he has been dealing with pressure all his life, you got to put him on your team. That's just the way that is. Now, Jay Higgins, CeeDee Lamb says that would be crazy. I believe, now I'm going to just be real with you guys. I told you guys who I would love to get at 12, and that's Genty, Ashton Genty. Everybody could, now, because at first it was, we believe he will be there. And now, everybody, you don't know because things fall out. Now that the Raiders have their quarterback and their new head coach, they may want to stay away and say, well, now let us go ahead and get some things that we can help. Now, I would have loved to have seen Shedeur Sanders, man, somehow lock in. Man, lock in with Brock Bowers, man. Oh my God, if he was in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That would have been quite the thing. But Geno's there. They have Geno, they signed him, so now they're looking to go in another direction. And a lot of people even have them taking Genty because the number one priority is a running back. And once they signed Geno, that worried me. So even if Genty go there. Now, that Tector, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, McMillan, a lot of people right now have him going to Dallas. And I'm going to tell you something. I like him. I like that because it's a big T-Tech. I don't know, you guys. I don't know how to say his name. I'm just telling you, I don't know how to say his name. But yeah. Okay, we talk about Milton. I like what Milton did. I like the pickup of Milton. I do because I told you, that's a running quarterback, and that's another Florida boy. That's another. He's gonna have some mess in him. And if Dak let this dude get on the football field, Dak's going to be in trouble. Dak will be in trouble. This kid to get out, he'll be electric. He'll excite the crowd. And then all the people that are tired of the Dak thing and all the money fights and everything, they'll start calling for this dude. I'm telling you right now. They'll start calling. Dude keep telling me I'd rather have Higgins. Big dude ran 4.47. Milton got heart. That's what Darryl was telling me. Milton does got heart. And that's the thing that we talk about a lot here that we miss, right? That's what the Dallas Cowboys are missing. You know what I mean? They're missing that guy that brings everybody up when it's being put, when it looks like down, when it looks like they're down. They're missing that guy that believes so much in himself that no matter how bad it is, you feel like we always got a shot to win. I've said many a time, the Dallas Cowboys have enough skill, they just don't have a collective will. And that's the thing they got to work on. Uh-oh. Yeah, let me get on my phone. Somebody called me on the phone. Man, RJ, I'm on air working. You got it. I see you at the house. You're at the coming house. That's my boy, my chef. You know, he's coming over here now. They're always on everything. They're always working, man. They're always working. But that's all good. That's all good. What we need to do, let me tell you something. In this draft, and I know people at Dallas Cowboys, I'll give you what it says the Cowboys' needs are over here on the draft. Number one, they got wide receiver. Outside of the CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys don't have a consistent threat at wide receiver or on the football field. Period. I've said that all year last year. And teams focus down on CeeDee Lamb, and we need more people to make plays. I understand, Jonathan Mingo. He wrote Mingo. Yeah, we don't have to. Listen, I want Mingo to pan out and become something big. I do. But we don't have time to wait. We can't mess with trying and playing it or messing around with it. We need him. We need him right now. Show up and make plays. I need to know you're going to make plays. Let me tell you why. All right, biggest need for the Cowboys, wide receiver, running back, cornerback. Told you about them wide receivers and cornerbacks right there. There they go. Wide receiver, running back. We want that. Then they got a cornerback, linebacker, But that wide receiver thing right here. Now, now next three, all other needs go on defense. My theory, my thought right here. And that first pick will determine a great deal. I know when they signed Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, I said to myself, I hope this doesn't mean that they are out on Genty. And if he's there at 12, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You get him. He's one of a kind. And then you come back and get me a top receiver still in this draft. You get me a top receiver. What I'm talking about here, the Dallas Cowboys should do is focus on one thing. In this draft, have a target. People are talking about all the things that they're missing on defense. We need to start the run. We need cornerback. We need linebackers. We need D-line. We need all that. But if I use my resources properly and effectively, I'm going to throw my resources that I can get that I know is going to make an impact. Right now, in the draft, I'm throwing them on offense. And then I'm going to put together my defense because I'm going to try to build one side up. And that's the side that scores a lot of points because we can win a lot of games with the side that scores a lot of points. The last 3 years prior to last year, we scored a lot of points. We won a lot of games. Now, last year, we didn't score a lot of points, and we lost a lot of games. You see what I'm saying? That's the angle we have to take. Let's go. We're paying all this money for the quarterback, all this money for the receiver. Let's stack this offense. Let's get a way to put up 30, 35 points a game. And we'll put together a piecemeal defense that can make things work. And I believe it. Now that we've gotten, honestly, I'm going to say this, now that we seem like, and hopefully, we've gotten the riff-raff out the locker room. You guys have openly seen the fight, Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what that was about. Now that it's all out in the open, now we can get a defense that can come together. We don't have two stars fight for the power over the defense, having half of the locker room over there, half over here. We're going to be on one accord. And bringing in new guys on defense is what I want, to weed out some of this other dumb stuff that's having a problem with Michael Parsons, but ain't playing like Michael Parsons. And trying to tell him to get off his podcast when they need to get off their pod ass and make some plays. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care about him being on a podcast because he off his pod ass and making plays, and I need them to do the same thing. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to hear no more noise about what Michael doing until Michael stop playing well. Then we can talk about that. But he's about to become the highest paid non-quarterback. So we can't talk about his play being shabby. And he's talking. That's all. We focus on this offense. We put some points on the board. And we go get Michael some dogs that want to run with him, that want to bark with him, and not bark at him, and not bark about him, and not bark to the public about dumb shit. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to get crazy. I'll talk to you guys. Let me just hear what you guys have to say about all of it. You know what I mean? But I just hear what you guys got to say about it. Dallas should get wide receivers. I see wide receiver running back. I haven't seen anybody out here, which I think is interesting, that says anything about going to get defensive players. You know why? Because they don't give us hope. You know? If you go get me and Abdul Carter, somebody, okay, coming off the edge, that's great. We got some more sacks. But offensive players, explosive players give us hope. You know what I mean? It gives us hope, and you say, man, we got a chance, we're gonna score some points and do this. What were you just talking about? My shirt? What is your shirt? What's your shirt? Yeah, this is Jason Garrett. Yeah, somebody was saying something about my shirt. I said Jason Garrett, I did his camp up there, Daniel Jones, all those guys were up there. So we had a pretty good time up there. Cowboys need players that can score. You're right, and that's what that's what I'm saying. That's all we should be doing right now is fixing the side of the offense. But we were hurting us last year. We had no offense, nothing outside of CD Lamb, nothing outside of CD Lamb. That's all I'm focused on. Oh, we're wasting $60 million a year at quarterback if we're not using him. So we gotta get to the place where we're focusing on getting this offense right in my home base, home crowd. That's what we are trying to do. You know, one more thing. One more thing. Wait a minute, dude. Come on, dude. What do you mean CD not Higgins? I know you're not talking about. Come on, dog. Don't even try it. You trying to tell me you gonna take T Higgins over CD Lamb? There's no way you're saying that. I like T Higgins. I like T Higgins, but T Higgins has played with Jamar Chase, one of the best out there. And Jamar Chase takes all the pressure off T Higgins. CD Lamb has dealt with all the pressure being on him. It's not even close. It's not even close. Not even anything to really have a discussion about. CD Lamb over T Higgins. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and any day between Sunday and Monday again that you can come up with. I'm taking CD Lamb over over your boy, over T Higgins. Now, T Mac is what they call Tech McMillan, Tatario, how you pronounce the name, McMillan, T Mac, CD, and T Mac. That's my combination. Because I got my big boy. And Dallas needs that big receiver, dude. I'm trying to tell y'all, Dallas needs that big dude that can make some plays that Dak don't have to make a perfect throw. That's the ball. That's the play. And those are plays we need in this game to give us an opportunity. Things are tight. Two people on CD. Dak moving around. He doesn't run like he used to. So he just lets that ball go in a big guy's direction. Bam! He pulls that down and goes and get it. My man over here, he loves Jay Higgins. He's 6'4", 447. I can dig it, Jay Higgins. I can dig it. That's what he ran, but I am big and strong and fast. I need somebody that's a dog about that ball. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a dog about the ball. Don't just be big, fast, strong. I need you to be a dog about that ball. And Tech McMillan is a dog about that ball. Speaking of dogs about balls, being a dog when you're going to get the ball, the football. I should say football because nowadays everybody trips with all that pause stuff. Pause. Oh, you said what? Pause. Oh, this. Pause. I said be a dog about going to get that ball. Pause. I got to put pause in there. Then I don't know anything about the pause. Who cares about that? You know what I'm saying? But that's what we need. We need a dog. I mean, I need a dog all the way around. A kind of dog that really can bring something to our offense. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about the kind of catches. I'm talking about an attitude. Like, no matter what the situation is, this dog makes the rest of these guys feel like we're going to win this game. We're going to be okay, and we're going to win this game. I'm just telling you, that's what we need. We'll be talking about that in 16 days. One last thing before I go. Because I do got to go get on another airplane. I'm always getting on airplanes, but one last thing I want to talk about. I'm shocked that Denver Nuggets have fired the head coach, Coach Malone. Denver Nuggets, just a few years ago, won the championship. You think the championship would, hold over, you get some time here. But what everybody's saying, because this just happened, is there's been some rumblings in the front office. And I want you guys to consider this. People talk about how hard it is to win, right? And then you finally win. You go through all of that, you finally win. And isn't it funny how all the time it becomes personalities in the front office that break things up? So something now, I guess, is what people are talking about. They didn't get along, or Coach Malone can't get. It blows my mind. And every time I see it, I think about the Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones thing. And I remember going through it saying, how can it be going this great? And these dudes want to get out because of their ego. And I guarantee you, that's happening in Denver right now. Those egos getting in the way of all the hard work that Jokic and his boys are putting on the court. I told you guys, I'm all in with Luka. Luka returns here Wednesday. I'm all in with Luka. So I'll be all in with Luka. And for the Lakers, because that's one of their worries, that was good news. I don't think it's good news for the NBA, and I certainly don't think it's good news for Coach Malone, because I thought he did a real good job. But wow. Wow. Egos of people in those management positions. That's crazy, man. The Denver Nuggets fired their head coach. Yeah, in the gym. Calvin Booth, dude said in the gym. Yeah, Calvin Booth. So you know what? I'm going to tell you what that is. I'm going to tell you what it is. Whatever Coach Malone and the GM were arguing about or discussing they wanted, somebody else said, no, we don't need to do that. Somebody else that's not as close to the situation as these two was like, we don't need to do that. And then that thing started breaking, that friction and whatever, broke up the situation. But they're powerhouse. They were powerhouse, man. I just don't know. You're going to see, you start moving coaches like that. You lose something on your team, and the Denver Nuggets going to lose something on that team, and it may just be enough. They're in fourth place right now. It may just be enough for the Lakers to slip on by. You may see now them Lakers OKC in that finals. It would be good in Philly. What did he say? He would be good in Philly. Who would be good in Philly? Who would be good in Philly? You talk about Coach Malone, coach for Philadelphia 76ers? Because, I don't know if he would like to leave a place like Denver and end up in Philadelphia. Dude, you think he had problems with people in Denver in the front office? You gonna have to dance and put your dukes up with people in the front office, in the arenas, in the grocery stores, on your way home, at the red light. When you get to Philly, you gonna have to deal with people in the line when you dropping off your granddaughter or your kids. So I just don't know if Philly is right for the bad. You know what I'm saying? That would be. But he is a very good coach. And I guarantee you, he will not be out for long. Somebody will snatch him right up, and rightfully so. They should do that. All right, folks. I ran my mouth more than I should right here. You know what I mean? Coach Prime is on the way too. You know what? That's what somebody just said. That ain't me. I'm just talking with my peeps here. I hope so. He just signed a big deal. But right now, that ain't what we got to do. Right now, Cowboy fans, we got to focus in and lock in with our coach right here. and I'm going to spend some time with him. And I will let you know about that because we got a season coming up. We got to get ready for it right now. We got a draft coming up in 16 days, and we need to get ready for that right now. I got to go get ready and get on that airplane right now. And I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. I appreciate you joining me, man. I appreciate you sitting here in the locker room chatting with me. And I appreciate you giving me your thoughts. May God bless you until we unite again next week. Same bad channel, same bad time. God bless. Yep. Now, my